Hey, my hero, Ave. I would love your opinion about my 3D environment. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so you did the whole idea. Interesting. Oh man, I'm trying to find the exact words that I want to share with you. Okay. So, at first glance, it looks fine, right? Like, it's like, oh, cool, an environment. But then I start looking at it a little bit more closely, and the first thing I realized is that you did not take the time to really add more detail to the elements, okay? Everything that I'm seeing right now are boxes. Just cubes with a couple of bevels. You did work on the textures a little bit more, but this is not something that I see. Okay, like this looks weird. For instance, that chair right there, right? An office chair. If you want to do an office chair, you got to do a proper office chair. I've never seen an office chair with 6 wheels. Never, ever, ever. The height of this office chair makes no sense with the height of the table. You won't be able to fit in there. You need to bring this lower. Why? Because you sit down and then your knees are gonna be like over here, and they're gonna like crash against the table. That height of the table looks a little bit weird as well. So there's a lot of proportion things here. Some of the textures, they don't look like as great as well. I like the fact that you try different like lighting scenarios. That's fun, but we definitely need to improve the modeling and the texturing, man. Because it's one of those things that it's not, and hopefully again this doesn't sound as harsh as I think it's gonna sound, but it's not as impressive, right? And one of the things that we want to do with our projects is we want to impress. Like, we want people to be like, oh, that's cool, or just like ask questions about it, right? And I don't think we're getting that right now. So yeah, I would probably focus a little bit more on that. You can see you got a couple of like you have a good like a good understanding of drawing as well. That's not bad. But yeah, we need to work more on the complexity of the models. Here's my advice for you, my friend. Instead of doing the whole room, focus on doing one shot, like this one right here. This one with the computers. Focus on doing this one shot and make sure it looks as nice as possible with all of the things that you can add right here, okay? Play a little bit more with the textures. The wall, it just looks like very, I don't know, very sort of like PlayStation 2, if that makes sense. It kind of looks like how PlayStation 2 games used to look with like this very ugly tileable textures. So you gotta be a little bit more mindful about that. There's even the render. I'm not sure where you did the render, but the render looks a little bit fake. Like it's missing a little bit of that sort of like bounce light. Here's an advice for everyone, guys. If you're struggling with like getting things to look nice, Blender has a lot of resources, very, very cool resources. If you go here to download and then you go to demo files, for instance, just go a couple of like versions down and you're gonna find some things like this. Look at the render on this one. It looks like a freaking photograph, right? Look at the render on this one. Look at the render on, there was like a Classroom a couple of like years ago or something. There's this one, Classroom. This was in Blender 2.8, guys, 2.8, and they were doing this very amazing renders. This one, Blender 2.8 as well, Agent 327. Like, download these scenes. They are free. Literally, you just click on them and you're gonna be able to see how they approach the lighting scenario for this thing, how they approach the textures, how they approach everything. Look at this, 67 megabytes only, and you're gonna be able to learn so much from these assets. So there's no excuse, guys, to have renders or scenes that don't look as nice as they could, especially now that we have tools that are really, really advanced, okay? Do you know if it's possible to find a job as a 3D character artist from all this? Yeah, it's possible. I've done that. I've had some, like, several freelance works throughout the years as a 3D character artist. They're very competitive, though. Like, you really need to know your stuff, Lusmos, because, like, everyone wants to be a character artist, right? Character artists are like the vocalists or like the guitar players of a band. Everyone wants that position. So you're gonna have to be very good to be able to compete at that level. And the only way to do that is by always learning, always improving, right? Just keep learning every day. There you go, Genova. Yeah, make sure your UVs are nice next time.